Hello and welcome back to another Popcorn Chat. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm going to be speaking to you about Ridley Scott's legacy sequel to his 2000 hit Gladiator, Gladiator 2. I was sceptical when this film was announced. I think it's just purely there to capitalise on film lovers who saw it back in 2000 and just take their money. Did I care what happened to Lucius at the end of Gladiator? No, not really. However, the thing that has drew me into watching this film is the cast. So in this film we have Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Joseph Quinn, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, and many more great actors. And obviously Ridley Scott coming back to direct his own sequel is amazing. Not many directors get to do that with their sequels, and his films in the last 5 years have been very hit or miss, but I think this is definitely more on the hit side. First of all, it did exactly what I expected it to do, and it was simply just to rehash the first film. The narrative journey of which Lucius goes on in this film is very, very similar to what Maximus does in the first film. Obviously, there's a little bit more difference in terms of the family roots to Rome. But obviously, there are going to be some different elements to the original film. It's set approximately 16 years later after the first film, and we're following Lucius's journey, like I say, his connection to his family to Rome. Therefore, it's got a tiny bit of difference, but it's the same film. The pacing of this film for the first 30 minutes was insanely quick. So much so, when people died within Lucius's life, I just didn't care because we didn't have that time to empathise and connect with these characters or have any backstory. So for the beginning of the film and for some of it throughout, I simply just didn't care. I've already mentioned the amazing cast in this film, but the standouts for me were Denzel Washington and Joseph Quinn. Don't get me wrong, I think Paul Mescal was good in elements in this film. It's very different to anything I've seen him do before. It was a lot more theatrical, but him as a leading action star, I'm not so convinced. Nonetheless, you could tell that he really put the time into learning stunts and combat fighting, and that really came across on screen. You know, when they could have easily cut away to a stunt double, you can just see it's Paul just doing the hard work and sort of really showing up in those moments, and that just elevated it for me. But for me, Denzel was amazing. Everything about his performance was just so captivating. The intonations of certain words, the looks, his whole sort of personality in this film is so captivating, and it just completely draws you in. And I always feel on edge when I watch Denzel on screen because I just don't know what he's going to do. You know, he's infamous for sort of ad-libbing and improvising certain scenes, so I just don't know what he's going to do next, and I always feel like that watching him on screen. It was just so electrifying to see him act again. We have to talk about one of my favourites, Joseph Quinn, my boy. I think he did a great job in terms of stepping up into a blockbuster film from his critically acclaimed roles in Stranger Things and some other little indie films he's done. This is probably going to be the biggest platform he's been on so far. He definitely lent into that more theatrical side and the larger than life performance, which I really love for his character. It totally worked for me. One thing you are guaranteed with a Ridley Scott film, be it good or bad, is that the locations and the costumes are going to be amazing. And this film was no exception. From the gorgeous Roman gowns to the military uniforms, the craftsmanship is just amazing and it doesn't go unmissed. Some locations feel hot and dry, whilst others feel glamorous and luxurious. And of course there's CGI elements to enhance those in the background. And I think this all just helps to create that world building and make everything a lot more tangible. One of the big negatives for me in this film was the music. It felt so lackluster to me. It's nowhere near the heavenly score from Hans Zimmer and Lisa Gerrard in the first film. I think this is such a key element in terms of storytelling and could really add to the fact that I found a lack of emotion and connecting to characters in various scenes where people were being killed off, and I just felt very little. And I think the music could have helped me kind of elevate those scenes and feel more of a connection. But yes, the music was very disappointing in this film. An extra thing that I did want to mention was that the focus was soft multiple times, and those takes were quite long, and I was like, why are we using this? Why did they not cut and do another take? Maybe it was the best thing they had, but it happened multiple times and it really drew me out as a film fan and a filmmaker, so I'm sure other people are going to feel the same way too. Overall, I thought Gladiator 2 was a good action-packed film, despite the fact it's literally a rehashing of the original. Denzel's performance in this is the driving force for me, and it's one of the key parts that I'm going to take away from watching this. If you want to see it, at least go and see it on the big screen. Go and kill a Sunday afternoon. but I could have also lived my life happily not seeing it. Thank you so much for watching this review of Gladiator 2. Let me know your thoughts down below if you've seen it, and I'd love to check those out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys very soon for another popcorn chat.